Lauren Stratt. Assistant coach Eric Iverson. Assistant coach James Turner. Assistant coach Kylie Heisman. Waiting play for the Lady
Make sure they don't hear the wind. I'm just going to turn my volume down. I mean, the wind's like crazy in my ears.
13, Riley Edmondson. Number 17, Mackenzie Garrison. 19, Paisley Young. 20, Haley Helen. 21, Miami Wardogs.
Good morning, Bulldog fans. It actually is still morning, about 5 minutes away from high noon, as we are at Wagoner Softball Stadium. Super Regional Finals. The Miami Wardogs have come to town to play the Wagoner Bulldogs here at Wagoner Softball Stadium. The opening announcements have been made. Starting lineups are being announced right now by the public address announcer, Shelly Sperling. We appreciate the work that he does, and Christian on the scoreboard and the media in the press box. I'm Jeremy Holmes. I'm with Garrett Haddock, and we're going to bring you the Super Regionals.
Number 1.
As we await the first pitch.
Playing works for Aislinn Alpha. And now for your homestanding Wagoner Lady Bulldogs.
The 4A fast pitch rankings for coming into these Super Regionals. Blanchard is ranked number 1, and Wagoner is ranked number 2. Miami ranked number 15, or Miami, thanks to Mr. Page, if he's been listening right now. That is the correct pronunciation, even though all my life I've been told it was Miami. But apparently that was just an Oklahoma thing to differentiate between that and Miami, Florida. But Miami and the Native American tribe, so we will refer to them by their proper name of the Miami Wardogs.
Johnny Hudson.
If you're just now logging on, we are still finishing up starting lineups, and we are just a couple of minutes away from the opening pitch of the Super Regional Final between the Wagoner Bulldogs and the Miami Wardogs.
Here are the starters for your Wagoner Lady Bulldogs.
If you have my number, or if you want to drop a comment in the chat room on the YouTube channel, you can do that. Make sure that things are going well for you at home. Appreciate those that have already logged on. Certainly a number of classrooms across Wagoner Public Schools logging in tonight, watching Super Regional Finals as the Lady Bulldogs are being announced onto the field, and will await the national anthem.
97, in center field, number 6, Adrien Coker. Batting 8, in left field, number 11, Kendra Condit. And swinging 9.
It'll be the best of 3. We'll play 2 today, and if needed, we'll play 1 tomorrow. The Lady Bulldogs are focused to take care of business on this Wednesday, October 10th. And here we are with the national anthem.
Gentlemen, remove your cap. We're going to have 1 moment of silence. So let's remember people who are suffering today. And the impending hurricane as well. So fortunate to be here in Wagoner with our visitors from the Northeast. Ladies and gentlemen, a moment of silence, please. Thank you for your courtesy. And now, ladies and gentlemen, remain standing as we honor America, and please sing along with our national anthem. That's like all the way through the mound. So he went till late goes. At first base, Kenzie Markeller. Second baseman, 16. Third baseman, by Red Shaw. At shortstop, Jalen.
All right, starting lineups
Center field, Adrien Coker.
have been announced. The national anthem has been played, and the Lady Bulldogs have taken the field as the home team. And that might seem to be common sense to us all since we're here at Wagoner Softball Stadium. But it actually, the home team is determined by a coin flip. So if you were with us last week with the J Bulldogs in the regional finals, Jay was the home team on one of those games. So the Lady Bulldogs, as it should be, will be the home team today as we await the opening pitch. This first of three, if we need to go that way. First game at 12, the second game at 2, and if needed, the third game will be tomorrow. Welcome, everyone, to Wagoner Softball, and here's the first pitch. Comes in low for ball one. Zoe Griffin, the sophomore pitcher for Wagoner, is on the mound. And there's a line drive to right field, right into the hands of Kendra Condit. I said right field. Yeah, yes, right field. Kendra Condit right there is a line drive right into her glove for the first out. Kendra Condit, the senior left fielder. And almost coming into your screen right now as Griffin throws the strike for the second batter. In center field is Adrien Coker. And in left field is Shari Berry. Second pitch is ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike now for Griffin on the mound. In the infield, here's a pop fly up in foul territory for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now for the batter. It's Kenzie Fourkiller on first, Josiah Pierce on second, Jalen Fourkiller at short, Maya Renshaw at third, and behind home plate, Juliana Hutchins, the starting lineup for the Wagoner Bulldogs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out with nobody on in this opening inning of Super Regional Finals. Griffin wants to have a conversation behind the plate with the umpire. Gets clarification and is now back on the mound. The 2-2 pitch. It fouled away again. The batter stays alive. The count still remains 2-2. And that was 3-2. I'm sorry, a 3-2 count, and that was low and outside for ball 4. And the Wardogs are on base for the first time. A lot of discussion now between coaches and umpires. Not sure what that's about, but here's the third batter with 1 out and 1 on. Strike 1. Strike two for the Miami Wardogs. Griffin almost got her to chase the high ball, but she looked at it for ball one. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And there is the second batter retired as Griffin delivers strike 3 for the second out. 2 out with the runner on first in the top of the first. Ball 1 as pitch comes inside. That ball low, but the batter chased it for strike 1, fouled it away. 1-1 is the count. That ball fouled away. Four-killer tried to make a play on it, but it was right at the dugout. Was not able to snatch it out of the air. One ball, 2 strikes. And Griffin catches the outside corner for strike 3. 4 batters. 1 remained on base. And the Lady Bulldogs are on offense as we enter the bottom of the first. We appreciate everyone that's logged on. And I see Coach DJ is logged in, presumably still in North Carolina. Coach DJ, we hope everything is going well for you there. I know the folks in North Carolina and that area are going through some tough times now. And we hope that we can bring a little respite today for you as he's watching his niece, Shari Berry, the sophomore left fielder. Waylon Jones, I guess I do have Skibbity Riz maybe so far. I think that's the way you say that. I don't know. You teenagers and your terminology these days. I used to think I was kind of up and up on those types of things, but now I'm totally lost. I think I'm about a decade behind. But Waylon, I hope you're getting your work done while you're watching. And on that note, we want to thank everyone logging on again throughout Wagoner Public Schools at Ellington, at Teague, Wagoner Middle School, and Wagoner High School, and all the students that are watching and cheering on their classmates or former classmates. A lot of teachers that are still in the classroom that have a lot invested in these girls that came through their classrooms, either as elementary students or middle school students, and obviously the high school teachers that have them in class now. And we're thankful that they're getting to log on today. And here we go. Jalen Four-Killer leads the lineup for the Lady Bulldogs in the top bottom of the first. Here's a line drive to second base. Second baser fields it easily and throws her out at first. That is the first out as Juliana Hutchins comes to the plate as the second batter. I was thinking about this last night. I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm just feeling like she's going to go yard right now. So we'll see what happens. Hutchins at the plate as the second batter. Looks the first pitch as ball 1. No strikes for the sophomore catcher, Goose Hutchins. That ball on the outside as well for ball 2. 0-0 on the mound for the Wardogs. That ball goes in low and outside for ball 3. Hutchins ahead in the counts. 3 balls and no strikes. And that will be ball 4 as it did not catch the outside corner. Hutchins takes her base to first, and it will be Maya Renshaw, the sophomore third baseman. takes a swing, a line drive to second base, and Renshaw will be thrown out at first, but Hutchins is safely at second. There's 2 out now with the sophomore pitcher at the plate, number 32, Zoe Griffin. Griffin takes first pitch, strike 1. Griffin chases the second pitch for strike 2. Griffin behind the count, no balls, 2 strikes. There's 2 out with Hutchins on second base. Griffin with a little chopper back to the pitcher. The pitcher easily throws her out at first, and that will be the end of the first inning. No score. Wardogs leave a runner on base. The Bulldogs oblige and leave another runner on base. We enter the top of the second with no score.
And I agree. Let's get high. Left on base. No score.
And we're back to the action. The top of the second. First pitch is low and inside for ball 1. Coach DJ, sorry about that. His niece, Josiah Pierce, as the Wardogs tried to go bunt and takes the first strike. 1-1 the count now. Josiah Pierce, the sophomore second baseman. Coach DJ's niece. As the ball is fouled away for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Coach DJ, I believe why I'm getting you mixed up is I want to say that Shari's dad is named DJ as well, so I apologize for that, but surely you can understand. And Griffin puts down the first batter for the second inning. 1 out, nobody on. Fastball right down the middle for strike 1. There's another strike. Griffin ahead in the count now, 2-0, and gets the batter to swing on the third one, goes up high as it's 2 up, 2 down in the second inning. Number 10 for the Wardogs at bat now, third batter of this inning. And the first pitch comes in at strike 1. Right down the middle for Griffin. Ball high. Two and one the count. Batter fouls that one away for strike two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on in the second inning. And now we have a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And got the batter looking for strike 3. Griffin on fire in the second inning. 3 up, 3 down as the Lady Bulldogs go to the dugout to get prepared for offense as we enter the top or the bottom of the second.
You're all well aware. A ball is out. Goes over.
DJ, I appreciate you confirming that. I knew I wasn't crazy. Well, I mean, you'd have to ask my wife that, I guess. But anyway, appreciate everyone that's logged on. I do want to remind all of our students, especially our middle school students, that getting on and making comments that are not necessary will get you kicked out of the chat room for a while. So, and your comments are deleted as well. So we don't mind you commenting, but make sure it's about the game or saying hello to some players or something like that. But other than that, we're going to try to keep it clear. We appreciate everyone logging on and watching this super regional final as Four Killer the Younger chases that pitch for strike 1. On the 1-1 pitch, Four Killer takes strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Four Killer leads off the bottom of the second. Chases that one for strike 3. And the Lady Bulldogs have 1 out as Josiah Pierce steps up to the plate. Nobody on, 1 out. A little bit of a changeup, low and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a line drive to the shortstop. Shortstop fields it, able to throw Pierce out at first for the second out. 2 outs, nobody on, and it will be Adrien Coker at the plate. Last week she went yard, and Bulldog fans are hoping for one here. Hope everything's going well for you at home, sound-wise and picture-wise. We are right under the scoreboard as that first pitch comes in for strike 1. And getting you a good look at the pitcher and catcher exchange. Off the outside corner for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes for Coker. High and outside for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Apologize for not having the names of the Wardog players, but it's 0-0 on the mound. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Coker chases it for strike 3. And both pitchers for the Wardogs and Bulldogs are starting to heat up and retire each batter that steps up. We're heading into the top of the third. No score as we try to keep caught up on our chat room. Kimberlyn Hart saying, let's go, girls. Kimberlyn, I hope you're still watching. Just now joining us. There's no score. Had a couple of hits, a couple of batters left on, or a couple of runners left on base. And we are at the top of the third of Super Regional Finals between the Miami Wardogs and the Wagoner Bulldogs. First pitch of the third inning. Fastball. Inside corner for the strike. No balls, one strike for Griffin. And that ball coming in as a strike as well. Griffin ahead on the count. No balls, two strikes. The first batter of this third inning. He got her chasing the third strike. She went with the high fastball, and the batter went after it for strike three. One out for the Lady Bulldogs. That throw gets away from the first baseman, and she will round first into second. Ball just off the tip of her bat. Hutchins chased it down. Ball gets away from Four-Killer. Tough catch as the runner is running towards her, and now it looks like we've got an intentional walk as the next batter has taken her base to first. Runner on second as well. One out for the next batter. First pitch. Fastball right down the middle for a strike. There's a fly ball into right left field. It gets over Barry's head. Runner rounds third. The other one is rounding third. And there are two scores for the Miami Wardogs. On an RBI double by number 7 for the Wardogs. It got to the warning track into the wall. Barry relays it in, but not before Wardogs score 2 in this inning. Here's an attempted bunt that goes foul for strike 1. One out with the runner on second. Another attempted bunt that goes foul up and over the backstop for strike 2. No balls, two strikes for Griffin. One out with the runner on second. And there is strike 3 right down the middle. Batter go down swinging for the second out. 2 outs with the runner on second. Batter swings. Batter swings for strike 1. That pitch, ball 1. 1-1 the count. Here's a line drive to the shortstop. Shortstop over to the first baseman. Sister combining for the third out. Four-Killer the elder to Four-Killer the younger. But not before the Wardogs score 2 on the RBI double for number 7 for the Wardogs. We're entering the bottom of the third. Miami 2, Wagner 0. Nikki, I see a comment. I believe that's probably Nikki Mitchell. Appreciate the love for Friday Night Bulldogs. Wednesday noon ball. We went from FNB to WNB, I guess. Wednesday noon Bulldogs. As again, this is the first of 2 today in the Super Regional Final. If we need to go to a third game, that will be tomorrow. There's a lot of softball between now and then as we enter the bottom of the third. It's the senior left fielder, right fielder that is, senior right fielder, Kent Condit at the plate to start the inning. Takes a swing for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Condit. Ball low for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That ball high and outside for ball 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Sorry, 2 balls, 1 strike for Condit. Shari Berry on deck for the Bulldogs. Here's a line drive to the shortstop, and she is right there to make the grab and throws out Condit at first. 1 out for the Lady Bulldogs as Shari Berry steps up to the plate. Berry looks at ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Changeup comes in low for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Berry chases strike 2 to the ground. Counts even at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Berry, here's a line drive, and it is gone. It actually hit the scoreboard right above our heads. Shari Berry goes yard, and the Bulldogs are back in business. A line drive into center field, and the ball actually is right beneath us. Garrett's going to pick that up. He's going to show you right in the camera. We're going to put Barry's name on that. That almost came right into your living room or classroom, office room, wherever you may be, maybe in the car, as Shari Berry just hit a dinger and got the Bulldogs on the board. It's 2-1 now in the bottom of the third. Still only 1 out. And we are back to the top of the lineup with Jalen Fourkiller at bat. Here's a shallow pop fly to the shortstop. Shortstop is there to make the catch for the 2nd out. 2 outs now as number 26, Juliana Hutchins, steps up to the plate, hoping to replicate or duplicate, either one, what Berry just did, and the pitcher wisely calls for the intentional walk, so Hutchins takes her base and stands at first. Renshaw now at the plate. Renshaw looks at the first pitch for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes for Renshaw with 2 out Hutchins on first. That ball low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. That ball goes foul for strike 1. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Renshaw takes the tip of it. 2 balls and 1 strike, sorry. Got that mixed up. Addict's doing triple duty here, taking care of the computer and camera and trying to keep me straight on the pitch count, as he is in front of the scoreboard and I'm behind it. Here's a pop fly in the shallow center field, and the shortstop is there. I believe she was responsible for all 3 of the outs of this inning. Bulldogs leave 1 on base. It's 2-1 as we enter the top of the 4th. You're watching Wagoner Lady Bulldog softball at Wagoner Softball Stadium and the WPS live streams channel on YouTube. And we'll be back with you in just a second. And we are back to the action. The top of the 4th, 2-1 Wardogs. As the batter showed bunt and pulled back for ball 1. That ball inside for ball 2. That pitch right down the middle for strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Bunt up and over the backstop for strike 2. Two balls, 2 strikes for the leadoff hitter of the 4th inning for the Wardogs. Another foul ball. Batter stays alive with 2 strikes. Here's another foul ball. Count remains 2-2. Pitch low for ball 3. 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count for the leadoff Wardog batter. And here's a pop fly into left field, and Barry not able to track it down, but it is a foul ball. So the batter will go back to the plate and remains alive with a full count. Here's the pitch on a full count, and it is strike 3 for Griffin as the Wardog batter goes to the dugout. 1 out, nobody on. It's the pitcher at the plate for the Wardogs. Pitcher versus pitcher. The second batter of the inning. Shows bunt, fouls it away for strike 1. No balls, one strike for the batter. There's a shallow, high pop fly in the infield, and Four Killer looks through the sun and into her glove for the second out. 2 outs for the Lady Bulldogs as number 10 steps to the plate for the Wardogs. Here's a pop fly into shallow left field, and Josiah Pierce is there to make the catch for the third out. Wardogs 2-1 over the Bulldogs as we enter the bottom of the fourth inning. We'll be right back with the action as soon as the first pitch. It's the bottom of the fourth inning. Zoe Griffin at the plate for the Lady Bulldogs. Line drive into foul territory as Griffin tries to zero in. On a minimum base hit, or possibly more exciting than that. If you were with us a couple of weeks ago in the district championship against Verdigris, Zoe Griffin hits a bomb for a grand slam. Here's a line drive to third base. Third baseman able to field it and throw her out at first for the first out. 1 out for the Lady Wardogs. Kinsey Four Killer for the Bulldogs will be at the plate as the second batter, the sophomore first baseman. Makes a swing for strike one, fouled up and over. No balls, one strike for Four Killer, the younger. There's a short line drive to second base, and second baseman is there to field the ball and to throw Four Killer out at first for the second out. 2 outs now.
Second base.
As it is Josiah Pierce now, sophomore second baseman, at the plate. Chases that one and gets over of the pitcher, but the shortstop, who has been busy all day long, able to field it and throw her out at first. And we are entering the top of the fifth. Miami Wardogs 2, Wagoner Bulldogs 1. And we'll be back in just a minute. For the top of the fifth inning, 2-1 Wardogs. As the batter I guess the batter thought she may have been hit by the pitch, but I think it might have hit Hutchins' glove and then hit the batter. I'm not sure exactly what just happened, but I believe that was a strike nonetheless. That ball high and inside. I believe the count is 1-1. Batter shows bunt, and Griffin able to track that pop fly down for the first out of this inning. One out with nobody on. The second batter of the inning. The first pitch is for ball one. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball right down the middle for strike one. 1 ball, 1 strike for the batter. As Griffin tries to retire the third out. There's another shown bunt for a strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes with 1 out. Another bunt attempt. Foul. Count still remains. Or, I'm sorry. That was a I don't know the official rule on that, but that would be the second out as the bunt was fouled away on the second strike and something like that. I apologize for all you baseball and softball experts that know the official rule, but we are 2 outs now, and the batter takes a swing at the first pitch for strike 1. The previous batter, 2 batters ago, was the second out with the foul ball on the bunt. And then after that was the intentional walk. There is a ground ball to second base, and she is safe at first. Pierce had a little trouble getting it out of her glove, and runner was able to beat the throw to first. The intentional walk is safely at second. So there's 2 out for the Wardogs with a runner on first and second. Fastball in the inside corner for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Griffin. There's a bunt, and there's the throw to first for the third out. Bulldogs able to get out of a late jam. The score still remains 2-1 Wardogs as we start the bottom of the 5th.
number 11.
We're back to the action here as Coker gets to first base, able to beat the throw to first. Coker leading off the bottom of the fifth as the Bulldogs try to put on their rally caps. I know I've got mine on. I'm not going to show you because it's kind of ugly. And I'll explain a little bit later on. As I believe it's Condit at the plate with a 1-1 count. Coker on first, Condit at the plate. No out in the bottom of the fifth. Low and outside for ball two. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tina Barnett, appreciate that comment in our chat room. And I'm not sure if there is actually an official call on it or not, but she was able to verify that a foul ball on the third strike of a bunt is an out. So that's the official call. That's where that second out came from. That ball is low, but enough to get the strike call. It's a full count for Condit at the plate. And that is a called strike for Condit. Coker steals second. And the ump calls the third strike. Shari Berry back at the plate for the Bulldogs with 1 out. Coker on second. Just missed the outside corner for ball 1. Shari Berry at her last at bat went yard and got the Bulldogs on the board. That ball on the outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Shari Berry, a sophomore left fielder. There's a line drive into left field. Left fielder is there, but Coker will score, and we got a tie ball game. Shari Berry with a stand-up double RBI. And we've got a whole new ball game here, ladies and gentlemen. We're at the bottom of the fifth, and we've got a timeout on the field. Jalen Fourkiller now at the plate for the Wagoner Bulldogs. Berry is at second. Fourkiller is going to take a little bit to think about it, steps away, and now it's back in the batter's box. Outside. One ball, no strikes for the senior shortstop Fourkiller. Takes a swing and foul ball for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out with the runner on second. Berry steals third. I apologize. I did not even realize that she was going for third. I was concentrating on the pitch. And Berry steals third. That ball just outside. It's 2-2. The count for Fourkiller. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and outside for ball 3. It's a full count for 4-killer. There's a line drive, and it'll get through to the left fielder. Barry scores, and 4-killer is safe at first. And Wagoner Bulldogs 3, Miami Wardogs 2. We're in the bottom of the 5th. And ladies and gentlemen, you just have to trust me. I just said it, and Mr. Haddock is here to verify it. I put on my rally cap. Well, technically it's a rally wig. And just like that, we're 3-2 over the Wardogs. And now it is Juliana Hutchins at the plate. And I think we're going to see another walk here. We'll see what happens. Here's a pitch. And that one looked, yeah, that's a strike right in there for strike 1. Looks like they're going to try to pitch to her this time. Hutchins has been walked 2 previous times intentionally. Looks like they're going to pitch to her this time. And that ball is low and outside. The count is even at 1 for Hutchins. 1 out with 4-killer at first. That ball outside as well. 2 balls and 1 strike for Hutchins. Right down the middle for strike 2. Hutchins looking at a 2-2 pitch here with 4-killer on first. Here's a line drive into left field, and it is gone. Hutchins just went yard, drives in 4-killer, and all of a sudden the Lady Bulldogs went from 2 down 2 to up 3, 5-2 now in the bottom of the 5th. And I know I didn't have anything to do with that, Mr. Haddock, but I do have my rally wig on, and since that time, we have scored 4. Maybe you at home have put on your rally hats or wigs, in my case. Maybe you did that as well at home, and the Bulldogs have had a 5th inning explosion as Juliana Hutchins just went yard and batted in 4-killer. And the Lady Bulldogs are not done yet as Renshaw is at the plate. Bulldogs still with only 1 out in this bottom of the 5th inning. Here's the line drive right back to the pitcher, and she makes a great grab as it would have come through into the outfield. But great reaction by the pitcher, number 00. So it's 2 out now, nobody on, and it's Zoe Griffin at the plate for the Lady Bulldogs. Chases the pitch for strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Griffin. That ball gets away from the pitcher and the catcher for ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike for Griffin. As the student section gets a little livelier now. May hear them in the background. Here's a short chopper to second, and second baseman is there to make the play for the 3rd out. As we go to the last 2 innings, we're at the top of the 6th. The Wagoner Bulldogs 5, Miami Wardogs 2. Keep those rally caps on, ladies and gentlemen at home. If you're in the classroom, keep those. You know what? We're not supposed to be wearing hats, but if you want to put one on, teachers, let them put their rally caps on. Coach DJ, I appreciate that. And maybe you guys might be able to talk me into possibly letting you take a look, although it's kind of scary. So I may step into, we'll see how the rest of the game goes, and maybe I'll step into the camera focus. But I do have my rally wig on, Coach DJ. We appreciate everyone that's logged on, all the Wagoner Public School classrooms. You just watched an explosion in the 5th inning from the Wagoner Lady Bulldogs as Mr. Haddock gets a great view of our student section just outside the right field fence. And they've seen a couple dingers headed their way, as Hutchins was the most recent. There's a short pop fly into foul territory, but Renshaw is able to track it down into the sun for the first out. We're in the top of the sixth. Wagoner 5-2 over Miami in Super Regional Final action. The first of 2 games today. If we need a third game to decide the winner, that will be tomorrow. Griffin trying to catch that inside corner for strike 1. There's a pop fly into up and over the foul fence for strike 2. Griffin ahead in the count with 1 out and nobody on. No balls, 2 strikes. There's an attempted bunt. Second baseman is there, but the runner is able to beat the throw to first. Four-killer just keeps it, gets it back to her pitcher. So we've got a runner on first with 1 out. Kind of a bunt, blooper, or whatever you want to call it. It's past Griffin. Four-killer was not able to make the throw. First pitch is ball 1 high. 1 ball, no strikes. It's pitcher versus pitcher, 0-0 for the Wardogs at the plate. That ball on the outside corner for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out with the runner on first. Here's a line drive into right field, and Condit is there to make the catch. Kendra Condit coming up big on the defensive side of things. Able to catch that one on the run for the second out. Runner tags up at first and remains at first as it's number 10 at the plate for the Wardogs. 1 out, or 2 outs with 1 on. That pitch high for ball 1. Low and outside for ball 2. No balls, 2 strikes. And if you're wondering what possibly could that be, it's probably what you think it is, and that is a duck call. Got a couple of duck calls out here during hunting season. As Griffin is behind on the count, 3 balls and no strikes. That is low for ball 4. Wardogs now with runners on first and second with 2 out. And our student section to keep calling those ducks. We may have some sitting on this backfield fence like they are. Timeout on the field. As looks like Miami's coach wanted to talk over a few things. Strike 1. Runner on first and second with 2 outs. Batter behind on the count, 0-1. And there is the second strike. No balls, 2 strikes for Griffin. As the Bulldogs try to end the top of the 6th inning. Griffin thought she had a strike 3 called, but the ump goes otherwise. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the outside corner, Hutchins knew it before the ump even called it. As soon as it hit Hutchins' glove, she popped up and headed to the dugout, and the ump calls the 3rd strike, and that will end the inning. We are going to the bottom of the 6th. We'll play 7. This is the bottom of the 6th. Wagoner Bulldogs 5 Miami Wardogs 2. The score should be correct for you at home. We hope everything is going well for you. And Reed 1234, we appreciate you logging on, commenting in our chat room as both Mr. Haddock and I take a seat, get our legs back from under us. Of course, I guess we can't complain since we're just standing around and the girls are out there. By this time, the turf is probably heating up to about mid-90s around now as we enter the bottom of the 6th. Bulldogs hoping to duplicate the last inning where they scored 4. And it'll be Kinsey Fourkiller to lead it off in the bottom of the 6th. Fourkiller goes to left field, and the left fielder is there, right fielder to my left, but it's the right fielder tracks it down for the first out. Looked like it was going to travel to the fence, but the right fielder is there. Here's Josiah Pierce. Pierce looks at strike 1. No balls, 1 strike for Josiah Pierce. Pierce chases a low one for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes. 1 out with nobody on. Pierce fouls that one away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Zero balls, 2 strikes for Pierce. Here's a line drive to shortstop. Shortstop's there, makes the throw, and is able to throw out Pierce. And I'm not sure if Pierce got tangled up in the bag or first baseman's foot, but it looks like she's going to be okay. Took a little bit of a spill to the turf, but she'll jog off the field. She looks to be okay. Adrien Coker now at the plate with 2 outs and nobody on in the bottom of the 6th. Low and outside for ball 1. Have ball high for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. And here's a one coming into your living room, and it is gone. Adrien Coker just goes yard. And the Lady Bulldogs are starting to open up this game. I hope you were able to catch that at home or in your classroom, in your office, at your car. Maybe you're on the lake, at a pond, waiting for those dove to come in. I think it's dove season right now, something like that. But Adrien Coker over the home run fence, and the Wagoner Bulldogs are 6-2 over the Miami Wardogs. All this stuff going on. Here's another fly ball. This will be shallow center field, and center fielder is there to make the catch for the 3rd out, but not before Coker hits a dinger and puts the Lady Bulldogs up by 4, 6-2. As the Wardogs get to the plate for their last opportunity of this game, going into the top of the 7th. Michael Burrell, see your comment, says boom, as I believe Mr. Burrell teaching math at the high school and was able to see that bomb from Adrien Coker over the center field fence. And I know I've said it, and I've probably overplayed it already. Well, definitely did from the very first statement, but I still got my rally wig on. Hopefully you guys still got your rally wigs and rally hats on as well. Maybe some rally bandanas. I got one for that as well, as we are back to the action in the last effort for the Wardogs in the top of the seventh. Here's a bunt, and it hits the player in the head on the bounce, and she will be called out. Just bounced up off the turf as she started to run, hit her in the helmet, and that will be the first out of the inning. And here's number 14. They've chosen to intentionally walk her all morning, mid-noon long. We'll see what they decide to do here. A low changeup for ball one. Preliminary indication is they're going to pitch to her this time. And that one is on the inside for ball two. 2 balls and no strikes, I believe, for number 14 for the Wardogs. That ball high for ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. With 1 out and nobody on. And that ball comes in low, but not low enough for the Wardog fans, as it is called a strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. And that ball comes in high for ball 4. Batter takes the base on balls. She'll be at first. 1 out with the second baseman for the Wardogs, number 7. She's been busy all day long and made plenty of plays in the field and is now at the plate and looks at ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. And that is a ground ball to right field. It is fair. Runner rounds third, going into home. And here's a play at home. And she is safe. Slides in safe under the tag of Hutchins. And the second baseman showing the Jets with an infield home run and batted a runner in as well. As the Wardogs score 2 in their last effort in the top of the 7th. Now 6-4 Wagoner with 1 out. Strike. One ball, 1 strike for the Wardog batter. Here's an attempted bunt, fly ball, and Griffin looks it into her glove for the second out. The Lady Bulldogs are now 1 out away from taking the first of a 3-game series against the Wardogs. Here's a fly ball up and over for foul. And the first strike. 2 out, nobody on. Here's a pop fly up and over the backstop for strike 2. Okay. Here's the 0-2 pitch. High for ball 1. 1 ball, 2 strikes as Griffin looks to take the Lady Bulldogs into the dugout and not have to. Here's a line drive to shortstop. 4-Killer is there, makes the throw, and that is the 3rd out. That is the ball game. Wagoner Lady Bulldogs 6. The Miami Lady Wardogs 4. The Wardogs try to rally in that last inning, put 2 on the board, but Griffin strikes out the third out. And that is the end of this first of 3 series. Lady Bulldogs take it in 6.5 innings. And you will need to, you've got time, because we're going to have about, according to this, we got about 49 minutes until the first pitch of the second game. So that'll give you time to order yourself a pizza, or, well, unless you're at school, don't do that. You guys have already had lunch. But those of you maybe eating a late lunch, you got time to order yourself a pizza or go grab a burger. And we're about 48 minutes away from the first pitch of this second game. Again, we're playing 2 today. If needed, we will play a third, but that will have to wait till tomorrow. And there's a lot of softball to play between here and there. And Sasha Baker logging on. Appreciate you logging on. Coach DJ, you're right. One more win. And I think we are going to keep it on just so you can kind of see the sights and sounds around here at Wagoner Softball Stadium. And we may make a few adjustments as the sun is now coming directly at us. We're trying to keep our equipment cool, but appreciate Mr. John Aldridge coming and making sure that things were set up for us internet-wise. And I probably shouldn't even have mentioned it, but it has gone well so far, as you are getting a look at the Lady Bulldog dugout. And we may exit out for a little bit and start a new stream, as again, we're about 45 minutes away now. So that's plenty of time to get reset, and probably going to try to get a shade on this camera. And we will be back in plenty of time. We're going to go ahead and say about 1:45. We'll get back on here, bring everybody up to date. During that time, try to get as many people as you can, either come to Wagoner Softball Stadium for, a full game 2, or get them to log on and support our Lady Bulldogs. I'm afraid to take off my rally wig, although I really would like to, as it's getting pretty warm here, but I don't want to mess up our mojo, and I hate to walk into the concession stand with everybody looking at me so strangely, because it is definitely a strange sight. But anyway, we appreciate everyone that's logged on. We hope that you're still with us and you'll come back with us here in the game 2. For now, this is Jeremy Holmes wishing you a good afternoon, and we'll be back at about 1:45.